Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today, bringing you guys and gals One Piece. Today's One Piece Chapter 818 review. Oh man, this chapter of One Piece, I am excited to say, one of the best chapters of One Piece in years. You already know where I'm gonna go for the rating. You already know. You have an idea. You have a strong idea, but let's, not leave the video just yet. Stick around because we got stuff to talk about. Because there's a lot of shit to talk about. A lot of shit. So, if you have not seen the live reaction, which you should do, there'll be an annotation right here, as well as a link in the box below. I know, a selfish plug-in. Fuck you. Now, this chapter of One Piece. Characterization, there was the prospect of Momonosuke learning the glyphs of the poneglyphs from his father. So his father knew that. So there is characterization for him in that regard, but he's dead. That's number one. And number two, you have Raizo and the WANO KUNI warriors looking across Zou. It's a ruin, and they are deeply saddened by that. So there is just further fortification of the notion that the Kozuki family of WANO KUNI and the Mink of Zou have a strong bond, and that's really it. So getting on to the translation comparison between Manga Stream and the official VIZ, I should start off this review by saying that this is a VIZ chapter review, not just a regular chapter review, a VIZ. So when you're comparing VIZ, to Manga Stream, the translations are relatively the same, but in all honesty, I did see like one difference. And is it major? Probably not, but it's something that I think should be noted. And when it comes to Manga Stream, this is when you have all of the WANO KUNI cats remembering Lord Oden. And when they talk about how the knowledge that he had was not passed to Momonosuke, it ceased with his generation. Well, on Manga Stream, Brooks says, and I quote, "Cease to be, that can only mean ... Momonosuke's father was," and then Kinemon responds, "Yes, Lord Oden was ... Wano, wa," he can't really speak, and then both Momonosuke and Kinemon start crying, and then there's some text, and the text says, "Boil that fool, turn him into some real Oden soup." And then there's a star where soup is, and then there's a translator's note that says, "Oden, name is likely a pun on the Japanese dish of the same name, which is a soup comprised of various ingredients such as eggs, daikon, radish, and tofu." So that's what it says on Manga Stream. But on the same page for the official VIZ translation, it says, and I gotta zoom in because it is really small. Brooks says, "Cut short, you mean ... Momonosuke's father is, yes, Lord Oden is, Wano is." And then that same text bubble that's highlighted, it says, "I am Oden, I was born to boil." So on Manga Stream, when he says, "Boil that fool, turn him into some real Oden soup," that is, it seems as if like someone is talking about Lord Oden. However, on the official VIZ translation, it says, "I am Oden, I was born to boil." So it's a first person. So it's Lord Oden talking about himself. So it's nothing like too major, but it's just to give you the context. Where in the official VIZ translation, it is "I am Oden." So the context is first person. It's Lord Oden talking about himself. Whereas in Manga Stream, it is third person, I believe so, where it's someone talking about Lord Oden. So more or less, when it came to his execution, it looks like the Shogun of Wano Kuni and Kaido put some fucked up shit where they boiled him. And based on the official translation, he went out with some pride. Whereas like, "I am Oden, I was born to boil, what up? You can kill me, but I'm not giving you the data that you want." So it looks like the guy went off with two middle fingers high, letting it be known, Kaido, Shogun, fuck you, I'm out. So that's what I'm getting when it comes to that panel right there. Moving on to the pacing of the chapter. Overall, the pacing, okay. It honestly not big. The structure was relatively simple. Nothing too grandiose there. No real awkward panel shifts, nothing like that. Overall, it was fine. Now we get to the story progression. Rocket Man just gone. Like, whoa, oh, my fucking lord. The shit that we find out in this chapter is monumental. It's huge. Where do I begin? The story progression is clearly the best. That is the focus point of this chapter, and it honestly makes this chapter by itself one of the best chapters in the series, because this chapter makes direct leaps into the overall purpose of the story, which is the One Piece WA itself. We now have some idea of Raftel, where its location is, and it is done so via the Road Poneglyphs. Not only that, but we're getting a lot of insight when it comes to the Kozuki family, how they were stonemasons, and how 800 years ago, they were the ones that actually crafted the Poneglyphs, the indestructible Poneglyphs. Not only that, but we're getting stuff on Big Mom and Kaido via the Road Poneglyphs, as well as Kaido himself, where the Beast Pirates, this was a funny transition, difference between VIZ and Manga Stream. On VIZ, the Beast Pirates are called the Animal Kingdom Pirates. And I'm like, I'm not gonna call Kaido and his boys the Animal Kingdom Pirates. Danimals? No, get out of here. No way. But the Danimal Pirates, no, not happening. The Beast Pirates, way better, or the 100 Beast Pirates, whatever. That's way better than the Animal Kingdom. It's crazy. No. The Beast Pirates. But we find out more about that and the Shogun, how they are in WANO KUNI. They are in WANO KUNI right now. That's where Kaido is pretty much chilling right now. He has a hotel reserved in WANO KUNI. That's nuts. That's bonkers. So now we have two main things going on when it comes to One Piece. Two major arc differences, or arc splits. Number one, you got all this stuff involving Kaido. You got WANO KUNI. You got the Kozuki family, the Mink going on. You got all that stuff going on. On side number two, you got Big Mom. You got Germa 66, this mythical evil army. Whole Cake Island. Sanji being married off to Purim. Third son of the VIZ Smoke family. You got these two things going on, and it's like, bruh, like this, whoa. Oda making gains. Making some true gains. And I love it. So, this chapter, overall, the rating is going to be a yo. This chapter gets the rating of And that's that. Before I go, I do want to talk about a few things. Just a few things for about 3 or 4 minutes. And those things are the Poneglyph stuff. Now, the Kaido stuff is pretty much set in stone. When it comes to Lord Odin, the daimyo, the former daimyo that was killed, the fact of the matter here is this. We're gonna get a flashback. I know we are. You have Inu Arashi and you have Negimamushi. Like, they have history, and that history is gonna also be explained in this flashback when it involves Lord Odin. So we're gonna get that. But let me talk about the bigger picture here. Let's talk about a few things that I will probably discuss in a future video in like 2 days' time, because I want to organize it in that video as well and not have it like packed at the end of this video. But we are gonna spend a few minutes talking about it nonetheless. Number one, 800 years ago, the Kozuki family were the ones that designed these indestructible Poneglyphs. We need to test that. If the Poneglyphs themselves are truly indestructible, that's either some crazy, like, power stuff, like some magic stuff, but One Piece doesn't have magic. So, that means there's some insane tech. There is some insane tech behind that. So that would mean that this involves a particular kingdom that existed during the Void Century, right? That mysteriously vanished sometime during that century. Now, my assumption is that they could carve the glyphs into the stone, then after that, the stone became indestructible. How? I have to wonder. There's some type of tech that made it indestructible. And when it comes to technology, we do know that when it comes to the Void Century and pre-Void Century, there was a civilization that existed that was a quote-unquote great civilization. They are the same civilization that built the weapons of mass destruction. So it wouldn't be too surprising if some of those folks after the Void Century assisted the Kozuki family, maybe even integrated with the Kozuki family in some way, shape, or form, so they could make the poneglyphs indestructible. You see what I'm saying? And on top of that, it is my understanding, it is my belief that this civilization are the Bilkins, the Skypeans, and the Shondians, in connection somehow with the elongated head tribe. Because you see, when it comes to the ruins on the moon, we do understand that the folks from the moon that have the angelic wings, the Shondians, Bilkins, Skypeans, and mind you, the Shondians after the Void Century did lose in a war against the 20 kingdoms that later on became the world government. And they were guarding a poneglyph in the Golden City. I'm getting the fucking rhythm over here. So what I'm trying to say here is that when you look at this civilization, in particular the elongated head tribe, we're talking about some advanced civilizations, some advanced people. And when it comes to that knowledge, they could use that knowledge to actually make the poneglyphs indestructible, quote unquote. Quote unquote. Keep in mind that when it came to the NL side story, there were robots that were built by actual robots that were fully functioning, that were very intelligent, like they're nice sentient robots that were built by a man with an elongated head. I mean, my theory is that these fuckers actually came from outside the solar system, from another planet. But I have to wonder, like, there's something going on there when it comes to the space stuff, which Oda has not highlighted yet. And also, the Tenryubito themselves, they do wear spacesuit type uniforms, outfits, if you would. So, I'm just saying, these are signs of advanced technology. And advanced technology could make something like a giant stone thing indestructible, quote unquote. When it comes to the Road Poneglyph specifically, there's 4 of them. Now call me crazy. Now we know where 3 are. One is in the whale, one with Kaido, one with Big Mom. You see what Oda did there. Oda, he made it so when it comes to Kaido and Big Mom, they are directly interfering with Luffy's goal of attaining the One Piece. So they are unavoidable hurdles when it comes to Kaido and Big Mom. They are unavoidable. They must be engaged in some way, shape, or form. That's number 1. Number 2, note how there are also 4 Emperors of the Sea, the Yonko. Now, maybe, because I have to wonder when the Yonko were established. I have to wonder, is this a system that has always existed in the One Piece world, where there were always 4 Emperors of the Sea, 4 insanely powerful pirates, or is that something relatively new? I'm not too sure. But let's say that the system was something that existed for a while. The Yonko, even during and before Roger's time. Maybe the Yonko were tasked with guarding these spots. Maybe you feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? It's very possible. It's very possible. I'm just saying that when it comes to the Yonko, you gotta think about that. Not only that, but when it comes to the world government flag, note how you have these 4 orbs, and then these orbs intersect to one orb in the middle. Is that a coincidence? You have to wonder, is that a coincidence? I would argue it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Keep in mind that the world government was founded after the Void Century 800 years ago. Around the same time, the poneglyphs were created by the Kozuki family, and it's not impossible to imagine, let's say, that the nobles that stemmed from the 20 kingdoms that later on became the world government, it's not impossible to imagine that these people were able to, like, let's say, get someone on the Kozuki family on their side, and they were able to get intel on the Road Poneglyphs and the location of Raftel. Raftel actually may be one of the key locations for that kingdom that existed a long time ago. Maybe the actual homeland itself. And the reason why they made that flag as a reminder to never forget that the history of the current world government is built on the backs, if you would, of this ancient civilization and how they overcame this civilization. And this civilization, though they have disappeared, do not forget. And that flag is a reminder never to forget that you have an enemy that threatens the current world government system. And that enemy comes in the shape of a deer. There's a lot of stuff to this, so I'll leave it at that for now. I'll do a video in the next few days. So I am done with this chapter review, giving my thoughts, you know, just to make people think about a few things here or there that maybe they have not thought about before. So I'm done. King of Lightning, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Share your thoughts, but here's the thing. I'm not gonna look at anybody's comments up until I make that video 2 days from now, because I want whatever I say in that video to be all me, all genuine. So far it has been, and I'm gonna keep it that way. I'm gonna avoid any people's PMs, posts, whatever, because I'm gonna keep this genuine king, okay? It is what it is. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am done with this chapter review. Ichiro Oda, one of the best chapters in years, no doubt about it. I am looking forward, I am psyched to seeing what's gonna come. And right now, the immediate future, Big Mom, Kaido, Dragon versus Blackbeard, I am stoked. King of Lightning, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice goddamned day.